Hello friends, welcome to another weekly top-down analysis video on the gold and GJ. So as usual, we are going to start with a monthly time frame and then we'll go down to lower time frames, weekly, daily, 4-hour and 30 minutes time frame. On the 30 minutes time frame, we will also talk about some intraday and scalping setups as well. So without wasting any time, let's get started. First of all, we are on the gold monthly time frame. Now we can see on the gold that the price has created a high before. So as you can see, that price created a high, and after that we have close a bullish. Basically we have created a support after creating a high. So now there is a pretty high probability for the next monthly candle. If we close something like this, if a monthly candle close bullish like this, then there will be a pretty high probability for the next monthly candle to basically make a bottom wick, and then we have this week to fill and maybe to continue higher to retest these highs and hopefully make a new higher high. So we are bullish on the monthly time frame. Now let's see what is happening on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, from the market structure, it looks like we are bullish because we create a high, higher low. We created another high. Basically, we broke the previous high and created a new high. After that, we came down and basically create a higher low, which is higher than the previous low, right? So we are bullish on the weekly time frame as well. And now if we look more closely, we can also find that overall market structure is bullish, but at the same time we can see that there is a minor structure where we are bearish. We created a low. Basically we broke this support, we created a low, then we created a lower high, lower low, and right now we are at the previous resistance, previous lower high, and we have the last weekly candle close bearish, although it's a weak bearish candle with a rejection on both sides. But still we are bearish on this minor trend on the weekly time frame. So now a lot will depends upon how the next weekly candle behaves. If the next weekly candle opens and it break the low of the previous candle, then there is going to be a pretty high probability for the price to come down and retest this previous low created by the price. And hopefully, because we are already bearish, so we may break this low and may go further down. Who knows, right? So that can be a possibility. But at the same time, we can see that we have this resistance right here. So we can see that we have resistance right here. So if we have the next weekly candle close above this resistance, then we know that overall price is bullish because we have created a high. So in that situation, there is going to be a pretty high probability for the next weekly candle to come down, maybe retest this area and continue going higher to retest this previous high created by the price. So that is something on the weekly time frame. Now let's see what is happening on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we can see that the market structure is bearish because we are making lower lows and lower highs on the daily time frame. So we can see that starting from the top, we created a low, lower high, lower low, and right now the price came up to the previous resistance level, previous lower high, and we have basically kind of consolidating in this area. But the market structure on the daily time frame is bearish. If we look more closely, we can also see that we have this resistance, right? And at the same time, we can see that there was a support right here. There was a support right here, and as we can see, we had this daily candle close below the support, and the next daily candle close back into the range, close back above the resistance. Now there is a higher probability for the next daily candle to make the bottom wick and keep going higher to maybe reach at this high. And a lot will depends upon how we if we get daily candle close above this resistance. I mean, if you get a daily candle close above this resistance, so as we discussed on the weekly time frame, that there is a pretty high probability for the price to make a bottom wick, retest this area and continue going higher to retest this previous high created by the price. So that is something on the upside. But at the same time, we know that we have another support created by the price. Now this is going to be a new support. This is the new support created by the price. So what we have right now, we have this resistance. So on the daily, there are longs above this resistance. For the short, we know that we have the support created by the price. Also, price is bearish, right? Lower low, lower high, right? So now there is a pretty high probability price may come down to retest this low and hopefully make a new lower low. So now if we get a daily candle close below this support, there is going to be a pretty high probability, for the price to go down. And suppose we get a daily candle close something like that below the support, then there is going to be a higher probability price is going to come down to the next support here and maybe here, something like that. So that is something on the daily time frame. Now let's go to 4-hour time frame to see more details on the 4-hour time frame. So we can see that the market structure is bearish on the 4-hour time frame because we created a low, starting from the top, we created a low, we created a lower high, which is a high, but lower than the previous high. Then we came down, broke the previous support, created a new low, and right now the price is retracing, basically, going up, making a retracement to find resistance to go down and retest the previous low. So we are bearish on the 4-hour time frame. But if we look closely, we can also find that, we have a resistance and we have a support, right? So we, if the next 4-hour candle, if the next 4-hour candle just open up, come up, retest this area, resistance area, and then go down, we have a higher probability to come to, this support and hopefully maybe to, this area, because this is the new low created by the price in this downturn. This is going to be a probability. And at the same time, because price is pulling back up, so if suppose the next 4-hour candle open up and we don't go down and we close bullish about this resistance, also it is going to be a counter trend trade. But we know that we have a clean range on the left hand side, and the next resistance is right here and here. These are the resistances. So if we get a 4-hour candle close above this level, now there is a higher probability price may come up to the next resistance here, and maybe to this resistance, and finally finding some kind of resistance to go down and retest this low created by the price. So that is something on the 4-hour time frame. Now let's go to a 30-minute time frame to find more details. Now on the 30 minutes, we can see that basically the price broke all these supports and made a move to the downside, and right now we are kind of retracing to the upside to finally find resistance and go down to retest the previous low created by the price. So now if you look more closely on the 30-minute time frame, we can see that we have resistance right here and we have support. So I mean, if we get a 30-minute candle close or 30-minute or 1-hour candle close above this resistance, then as we can see that there is a clean range on the left hand side. So it's going to become a pretty high probability for the price to come up and maybe move to the next resistance, which is right into this area and this area. But we have to keep in our mind that this is going to be a counter trend trade, because eventually we want the price to go down. At the same time, if we we have this support, and so if we have a candle close below this support and it's a high volume time like London session or New York session, then it's going to become a pretty high probability for the price to go down. This one is going to be the first support. We have this one as a target, and this one is going to be the final target, because eventually we want the price to go down to retest this low created by the price. So that is something on the 30-minute time frame. Now we will move to our next pair, which is GJ. And GJ, again, we are going to start with monthly time frame. So GJ on the monthly time frame. Now let's see what is happening on the monthly time frame on the GJ. Now we can see that GJ is bullish because we are making higher highs and higher lows at the moment. So as we can see, high, low, high, 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 low. Then we created a new high. So now, it will be, it's a pretty high probability price may come down to forms a higher low and continue going down. But we can say that the price is bullish on the monthly time frame. And now we'll go to weekly time frame to see more details. On the weekly time frame, again, the price is bullish because we are making high highs and high lows. So we can see that we created a high, high, low, high, 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 low. Then we broke the previous high, created a new high, high, and right now the price may come down to forms a higher low and continue going down. But we are bullish on the weekly time frame as well. And if we look more closely, we can also find out that we have a resistance. And there was a support right here that we could see that it was a support and we had the last weekly candle close bearish below this support, but also we have this rejection. So a lot will depends upon how the next weekly candle perform, because the price can go up, price can go down. So now if the next next weekly candle just open up and it comes up first, basically retest this area, retest this resistance, and then keep going down, then we have this whole week to fill and hopefully maybe going down, right? This is going to be a possibility if we come up and create a top wick first. But at the same time, if we come down first, if we come down first, maybe to this area, as we can see, we have some rejections here. Come down first, make a bottom wick first, and then start going up then and break the high of the previous candle. Or if we close above this resistance, then it's going to become a higher probability on the weekly time frame to come up and not only retest these highs, but hopefully making a new high, because we are already bullish on the weekly time frame. So now that is something on the weekly time frame. Now let's go to daily time frame to see what is happening on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, by looking at it, we can see that we are bullish because we are making high highs and high lows. So we can see that we created a high, higher low, and after that we created a high, price came down. So we don't know this one is going to be the higher low or not, but we are bullish on the daily time frame as well. And now let's try to look at more closely. We can find out that we had this support. So we can see that we had this support, we had the daily candle close below the support, and the next daily candle close back into the range. So basically this is a trending fake out happened on the daily time frame. So now if we see the next resistance is right here, right? So now if we get a daily candle, because as we already closed back into the range, so there is a pretty high probability for the price to go to the next side of the range, but we are already pretty close to the resistance. So we don't know what's going to happen. Price is going to reject this area, go to the downside, or what it's going to do, we don't know. But what we know is we have resistance. So basically what we know right now is we know that, okay, we have a resistance right here and we have a support right here, right? And the price is between them. So now if we get a daily a daily candle close above this resistance, so as we discussed on the weekly time frame as well, it's going to become a pretty high probability for the price to maybe the next daily candle just come down, retest this recent broken area, and come up to not only retest the previous high, but hopefully making a new higher high. This can be a possibility. But at the same time, we also know that, okay, now this one is going to be our new support, right? This one is the new support. So now what we have, this one is the resistance we already talk about. If we get a daily candle close above, price is going to go up. But at the same time, if we get a daily candle close below this resistance, below the support, then because we are already anticipating a pullback, because price can still make a pullback. So if you get a daily candle close below the support, it's going to become a pretty high probability for the price to go down to the next support, which is right into this area. At the same time, we can see that we have clean range on the left hand side, so it's going to be pretty easy for the price to go down. So that is something on the daily time frame. Now let's go to 4-hour time frame to find more details. Now on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we are bearish because we are making lower lows and lower highs, right? So as we can see, starting from the top, we created a low, and then price created a lower high. After that, we broke this low because these two are the similar lows, right? So we broke these lows, created a new low, right? So we are making lower lows and lower highs. So it's a lower low, lower high, and then we created a new lower low, right? So now if we find some resistance into this area, because we are already into a resistance area, then there is going to be a pretty high probability for the price to come down and retest this low, right? So that is something on the 4-hour time frame, but we have to keep in our mind that this one is going to be a support area. So when the price is coming down, we should break this support. Once we break this support, the next support is going to be into these areas. So anyways, we are bearish on the 4-hour as well. Now let's go to 30-minute time frame to find more details and some scalping setups as well. Now, if we look on the 30-minute time frame, we can see that it was a support area. Price broke the support area, created a low, and right now price is basically kind of retracing and we are into this area. So now if we look more closely, then we are going to find out what is happening here. So now if we look on the we can, on the 30-minute time frame, we can see that this one is going to be a support area, because if you go to 4-hour time frames, you're going to find out that this is going to be a support area. So if the price start going down, this area is going to act as a support, right? And now, so if we talk about the resistance, we can see that this one is going to be our resistance as well. So we have a support, we have a resistance, right? So now, as we already saw in the 4-hour time frame, that there is a price created this low on the 4-hour time frame. So there is a pretty high probability price may go down, right? This is something we saw on the 4-hour time frame. Now, on the 30-minute time frame, we know that, okay, the next resistance is going to be into these areas, right? So what we have right now, we have this resistance. So price is between this resistance and this support, right? So if we break below the support, the next support is going to be right here, and we have more target for as per the 4-hour, right? So we are going to be looking for shorting opportunity below this area. So like suppose price comes suppose price come down here into these areas, and we forms a support, suppose, into this area, right? And this one is going to be support area. So, and then we break this support, then it's going to become a pretty high probability to first target in retest this area, and then more support, and the final 4-hour target in that scenario. This is going to be one scenario. On the other side, if we get a candle close 30 minutes to 1 hour above this resistance during a high volume time like London session or New York session, then we can anticipate the high volume of the London session or the New York session to push through this resistance, and hopefully retest this resistance here. So that can happen as well. And then finally this one is going to be a resistance. So if we get a candle close above this resistance on the higher time frames like 4-hour and the daily, then we can look for some other trading opportunities as well, like so as I mentioned, we have this resistance on the daily. So as I mentioned before, this one is going to be a daily resistance, and 4-hour resistance as well. So if we close above this area, it's going to become a pretty high probability, for the price to continue higher and retest this area as well. So that's it, guys. This was the analysis on the gold and GJ from monthly to the 30-minute time frame. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you really did like the video, share the video and subscribe to the channel in order to support the channel and YouTube algorithm. And if you are looking for more scalping and intraday trading setups, then you can join my Telegram channel and my Twitter, where I regularly share analysis on the gold and GJ on the 30-minute and 1-hour time frame, and you can just use that for your benefit. So thank you.